For my argument today in philosophy, I'm going to be talking about whether or not Google is enhancing or diminishing our intelligence. So the document that we read for this argument was kind of a debate between Carr and Norvig, okay? And in Carr's argument, he argues for that Google is diminishing our intelligence or making us less intelligent. So some of the main premises of Carr's argument is that thinking deeply about information is what actually makes us intelligent. And then deep thinking happens when our minds are calm and attentive. Okay, so he argues that we learn when we're less we learn less when we're distracted, and the computers and the internet are things that contribute to our distractions, right? So he also says Google makes us think superficially and it makes us shallow, and therefore his conclusion is Google doesn't make someone intelligent, so it's diminishing our intelligence. Now on the other hand, Norvig argues that Google is enhancing our intelligence or making us smarter. He says that Google lets us find relevant pieces instantly. It gives us a wide range of information to learn from, which helps us be more creative and have informed solutions to things. It also gives us ready and free access to tons of opportunity on the internet, and therefore Google has made us smarter and more intelligent, which is his conclusion in this argument. So putting those into standard form now, we see Carr saying that Google allows us to find almost any information in the blink of an eye. Finding out information quickly doesn't make us intelligent, because he says that concentrating and thinking deeply about information is what makes us intelligent. So Google doesn't help us think deeply, because we can just search it up instantly and find a result. So therefore, he says in his conclusion, Google isn't making us intelligent. Now in Norvig's argument, he says that Google contains the world's best writing, images, and ideas. Google also allows us to access tons of information in a fast amount of time, and then that access to all that information helps us think better and faster, and therefore Google helps make us smarter and more intelligent. Now, a key idea in these arguments is what each person defines intelligence as, because the definition of intelligence can be a little different depending on who you talk to. So Carr defines intelligence as thinking deeply about things, which is being calm and attentive, and that allows us to then think deeply. Now Norvig, on the other hand, thinks of intelligence as just getting access to information quickly, because then that access and that information allows us to think better and faster. So two kind of different forms of intelligence there, depending on which person is arguing. So going into my argument, I'm going to be talking about whether I think Google is enhancing or diminishing our intelligence. And the stance I'm going to be taking is that Google is diminishing our intelligence and it's making us less intelligent. So looking at the problem, which is that Google is diminishing our intelligence, just a solution that I thought of that I figured I would include in this presentation is that the company of Google should challenge people to think about questions they have before they just go up and search it, right? Because if they're thinking about something deeply beforehand, that's going to help them become more intelligent, and if they spend time in meditation on that before they look it up, that can help enhance intelligence as well. So going into my argument now, once again my claim is that Google is not helping us be more intelligent, it's diminishing our intelligence. So my premises for this argument are Google allows us to get answers and ideas very quickly. Google makes it easy for us to figure things out. If we don't think for ourselves about questions and figure things out on our own, we aren't becoming more intelligent. And Google thinks for us about our questions and figures them out for us if we look them up. Therefore, Google isn't helping us become more intelligent. Okay, now my argument here is a pretty deductive argument because the conclusion that Google isn't helping us become more intelligent follows directly from each of the premises, right? If you read the premises and then get to the conclusion, you can see that that conclusion logically follows what the premises say, so therefore it's deductive. Now some of the evidence that I'm using for this argument, and it's kind of what I base my reasoning off of, is that from personal experience, when I actually think about something and focus on learning it, I am much more likely to maintain that learning or that topic. For example, in a math problem or math topic that I'm trying to figure out, if I actually take time to think about it, go through the process, ask questions to somebody who knows, and take my time to do it on my own while thinking deeply about it, I'm going to be able to retain that process and get an answer again based upon what I've thought about and what I've learned. Now, if I were to go to Google and search up how to do this math problem or how to find the solution to this math problem, I may get to the right answer or I may get the right steps, but I'm not going to be able to maintain that and do it over time, right? I'm not going to actually learn it and become intelligent about it because I'm just looking it up and kind of going from there, right? I'm not actually taking the time to work through it, okay? Another thing that I use for evidence in this argument is an article from Psychology Today written by a PhD named Molly Jameson, and it kind of talks about what learning actually is and how it's defined. And she says that learning is defined as a relatively permanent change in knowledge or behavior due to experience. So she also says learning is a very complex process. So in my argument, I'm saying that if we don't think for ourselves about things, then we aren't becoming more intelligent. And that kind of goes along with what Jameson says in her article, is that learning should be a relatively permanent change in knowledge or behavior, and it's due to experience, right? We need to experience something in order to learn it. Like I said with the math problem, when I go through the process, I'm experiencing how to do it, and therefore I can maintain that learning and do it again and again, okay? Alright, so now I'm going to talk about how I would address a critic that came and listened to my argument and responded in some type of way like this, what I have written here. So imagine the critic saying something like, Google is and will continue to be an amazing and new piece of technology, right? Which I agree with. Google is an amazing form of technology that we can use in our world. It also contains some of the best information in the world. Pretty much any bit of information you want or need to find can be found on Google, which is very useful in certain circumstances. Google also allows us to find relevant things instantly. So instead of having to go to a library and try to find a book that might be there or might not be there, we can look it up on Google and see it quicker. All these things help us deepen our knowledge and become more intelligent, is something that the critic would say. And then in response to that, I may say, I understand what you're saying. All these things are and may be true if they're used right. That's the key there. So they could hurt our intelligence if used in the wrong way, in my opinion. So Google does contain lots of information, and it can answer any questions that we have. But typically, when we as humans have problems, we want the answer right away. We want to get it quickly. Okay? Humans want things fast, right? We strive to be efficient. We want things quickly. We're often impatient. Okay? And Google can give us information and answers very quickly. And for us humans, that's convenient. That's easy to go to, and that's what we like to do, is just go to Google and search something up to find it out. So if we as humans use Google as just a tool to solve our problems, then they aren't truly thinking about whatever it is they're searching up to figure out, right? They're not actually thinking about it. They're letting Google tell them thoughts, tell them ideas, tell them answers to think about, okay? Because they aren't actually thinking for themselves. So I would say that if used wrongly, Google will diminish our intelligence because we as humans aren't actually thinking about what we need to figure out. We're letting Google do that thinking for us. And these are my works cited that I used. I used the article that Nicholas Carr and Peter Norvig argued in, and I also used the website article by Molly Jameson on Psychology Today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.